nothing, this is what I learned this week, there is nothing that will keep you disciplined on some shit you hate. If you think you can do the thing you hate every day for the rest of your life for 12 hours a day like some people do to win big, to get first place, if you think you can do that, even with a gun to your head, it probably wouldn't work. You would be like, I'm so bored of this thing I hate so much, just shoot me. So if you think you can't do that, and you agree with me on that, then you have to be like, okay, well, I have to do something if I want to do it for 12 hours a day forever with no gun behind me, because there's not always a gun around. There's not always your friend that you can call, tell me, hey, motivate me. Your girlfriend, motivate me. Your mom, no one's there. Your mentor, he's busy. Like you have to actually rely on yourself a lot. There's a very interesting idea, I'm going to share it right now, about religion. To stay on this idea for a second, you have to do something you love so that with no gun behind you, you can actually do it for 12 hours a day. Like actually 12 hours a day. And people are like, 12 hours a day, like don't you want to live life? For one, you're awake for 16 hours a day. Minimum, right? You should be awake for like 16 hours a day. You can still get a shit ton done working literally 12 hours a day on your thing. Two, what better do you have to do than to work on your goals, than to work on your body, on your mind, on your relationships, on your skill set, on your business? What better do you have to do than work for 12 hours a day? People just think that's bad because you've been conditioned to think you have to work for 8 hours, where everything else is overtime. You have to get more pay or some shit by like $1 an hour. You think either that, or you think that if you're working too much, you're gonna hurt yourself. But most people around you are not successful, so they don't know what hard work looks like. They don't know, and like if you're gonna be an entrepreneur, especially you're gonna build businesses, stop listening to people who work jobs and who only care about working jobs. They think different, and that's fine. It's making them successful at their thing. But if they're teaching you how to be successful at your thing, you are actually fucked. You're done. You're never gonna make it. You gotta listen to people who are successful at your thing. Then you'll get good. Don't listen to the fat person on how to get fit. Because when you're not fit, it's not his fault. It's your fault. So don't listen to the broke person on how to build a business, because when your business fails and you close it because you didn't manage cash flow, you didn't make cash flow, or you didn't think long-term enough after you had short-term cash flow. If you do that and you mess up because the broke guy advised you, of course, it's again your fault. So that's another idea that I'm going to phase this into, is this idea on religion and things being your fault entirely. So there is an interesting statistic that says the most broke places, the most broke countries in the world are also the most religious countries in the world. So I'll ask you, why do you think that is? Why are the most broke countries in the world the most religious countries in the world? What's going on there? The reason, if you didn't already guess it, is because they take the least amount of responsibility for their life and for the outcomes in their life. Because they're taught to wait for their God. And they're taught to live on earth suffering for some reason, some meaning, then to die, and then they'll go to the good life, instead of being taught to make the good life. And the people who are teaching you online how to make the good life, everyone calls them fucking charlatans. Everyone calls them gurus. They're selling information. It's like your pastor is selling information. He's literally saying, we're passing these buckets around, pay us. I'm not saying religion is bad, but this is an argument that is true, so listen. Passing around a bucket in the church, pay us. We'll keep giving you this information that teaches you how to keep paying us and how to suffer. And in the meanwhile, you're going to have some meaning and some values, but we're going to give them to you with the books. You don't have to create your own meaning or values. Why a lot of people get into religion is because they don't want to design their own value system, their own belief system. So they just rely on someone else. So it comes from the Bible, or it comes from the Quran. Because now you have a belief system, a value system that you can live by. This is good, this is bad. You aren't taught, not in school and not in the Bible, that you can create your own values. But you can. You can create your own values, you can create your own beliefs. You can start to say, I value working out 5 times a week. Your fat family might have taught you to value working out never a week, never a month, never a year. But you can start to say, I value this thing. And the reason you want to actually create your own value system and your own belief system, but it's a little different. Values is kind of a subset of beliefs. It's a type of belief. But the reason you want to create your own values is because they dictate your behaviors. Beliefs dictate your behaviors. So right now, if you value subconsciously, right, that's where your values are held, because you're taught them as you're a little kid, you're growing up, you're just adopting things like kind of mindlessly with no goal in mind. But you did choose all your beliefs. Consciously or unconsciously, you accepted the beliefs. So you saw something, you heard something, someone told you something, and you're like, okay. They told you soda, it's better than water. Drink 3 sodas a day, 1 water a day. Make sure you stay hydrated. Right? Now you're fat, drinking 12 sodas a day. So you got to change your values before you ever can change behaviors. In James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, he talks about how you should actually, when you're building new habits, try to shift your environment, because it shifts your identity, and your identity, another subset of beliefs, your identity dictates a lot of your behaviors too. So he says shift your identity first, then you'll shift your beliefs, then you'll shift your behaviors. So if you want to, for example, implement a new habit like working out, don't say I'm going to try to work out 5 times a week. That's implying your identity is still, I'm someone who doesn't work out. I'm someone who struggles to work out. You have to tell yourself, I value working out 5 times a week. I value being athletic or mobile. I value getting stronger every single week, 5 times a week. And the reason, back to this idea of values, the reason you design your own value system is because not only do they dictate your behaviors, but your brain rewards behavior in alignment with your values. And your brain punishes behaviors out of alignment with your values. So if you still subconsciously value eating and not ever working out, or eating more than you should every day and not working out like your family has always done, if you still value that, you'll sabotage yourself going to the gym because your brain's going to reward going to the gym. It's hard, it's painful, it's terrible, I hate it, right? But your value is still, we don't work out. We just eat more than we should every single day and we sit around. If your value is that, you'll sabotage yourself because your brain will be punishing that behavior and rewarding still sitting around. It'll still feel good, you'll be coping. Your family's like, it's okay. Like, I know you're trying to go to the gym, you're trying, right? So your family's keeping you in an old identity too. Your old friends actually keep you in an old identity because they keep saying shit like that. I know you're trying to go to the gym. I know you're trying to eat better, but this is really good. You want to try it? Sabotage, right? That's why I have an idea in my mind now. Run away from home. Run away from home. Do what you can to run away from home. Not in a bad way, but because the only way you can escape your old identity and long-term develop a new identity that's better, which is going to dictate tons of your beliefs, obviously, and then your behaviors, is to run away from home. Get in a new social environment, get in a new physical environment. Be in a place where you can recreate yourself. You've already created a character where you're at. You got to level up. Like, that's why people move to like college, or they go get a job in the, like I got a job in Lake Tahoe like a few years ago. It was just to move to a resort town, but you can do it in the summer or the winter. Resorts are always hiring, and you can move there and they'll pay you to live there and to work the resort, you know, in this mountain or wherever. So I moved out, but it made it easy to move out. I didn't need that much money to do that. They paid enough for me to pay for food, living there, and the rent. So do what you can to move out as soon as you can. Move out with people, right? Go to college and move out like that. Whatever it is, move out because you'll change your mind, you'll change and expand. I only lived in Tahoe for like 6 months or something. It felt like 3 years of time being here, where I'm at, where I've always been from, right here in my home, near my same friends, same people, same family, same everyone. So the reason you want to move out is because you're not stuck there. You can always come back home. People think like, I can't leave home. 3 months. Like, if you came back in 3 months or 6 months or a year, everyone would basically be doing the same thing. They'd have like the same money, doing the same hobbies, listening to the same music, going to the same places on the weekends, working the same job. Everyone's going to basically be fine. So you're banking on the fact that God or the universe is going to keep everyone alive. And if they're not alive, that would be an accident, but it would also be an improbability. Like, you're already living your life and they're still there. When you actually miss time away from people, miss time away from your old home and stuff, you actually come back with new perspective. So your behaviors are changed because you're a whole new person, and people notice that. But also, when you're gone, you allow yourself to miss the thing you're not with. So it actually is better. Like, the quantity of time is actually worse than the quality of time. Right? If your quantity is very, very, very low, the quality of time you get when you come back with your people is amazing. Like, when you're around them too much, you almost take everyone for granted. So just know that I'm not saying that that's an end-all be-all. Of course, you want to spend time with your family, spend time with your old friends, spend time with whoever it is. But you want to make sure, like, have some distance between you, time-wise, because it makes actually the time together better, more purposeful, more intentional, more meaningful, but also it makes you more grateful in the moment for that person. You'll be more inclined to say what you want to say. You're not scared to say it. This is the only time you get to talk this week. Right? It makes it better. Like, there's actually more on the line, higher quality. So anyways, back to this idea, all the way back to this idea that in the poorest countries, they're the most religious countries. And that's not to say religion is bad, but that is to say, beware of the fact that when you put everything in God's hands, nothing is in your hands. So you don't want to do that. The most successful people in the world, it's not that they're not religious, right? A lot of them aren't religious, but a lot of them are religious. But all of them realize, I need to take as much responsibility as I possibly can. So it's not religion, that's not the catalyst. Just like school isn't the catalyst to success. I always say that because you can see people that go through a ton of schooling can still end up broke, and the people that go through no schooling can still end up massively rich. Right? Think of Ford, one of these type of people. So, or Edison. So basically, what I'm saying is you need to, if you are going to be religious, fine, put things in God's hands, but take full responsibility for everything that happens in your life, all the results in your life. So I would say just stop for a minute here. You can pause the video after I say this. But look around at your life right now. Look at the body you have, look at the car you have or don't have, look at the house you have or don't have, look at the relationships you have or don't have, and realize that all of it, after you take a look at everything that's going on in your life, your body, everything, all of it is actually your fault. Not God's fault. Not someone else's fault. It's definitely not someone else's fault. So it's not the government, it's not the economy, it's not your sister, it's not your aunt, it's not your mom, it's not your dog, it's not your dog's cousin's uncle's brother, who stole your DS when you were 8 years old. So now you're just too depressed and insecure to move forward in life. It's not any of their fault. The only person's fault for your life is yours. It's always you. Right? The clothes you wear is you. The money you have is you. The haircut you have is you. The skills you have or don't have is you. Everything in your life is your fault. Once you realize that, you'll realize God gave me free will. He gave me free will so I could take full responsibility. Full responsibility is what gives me all the power in my life to change things. If I don't have the girl, it's not someone else's fault. It's not God's timing. God's like, go work for it. Talk better. Like, where's those skills? Like, go work on those. You have free will. Choose to take full responsibility for all the skills you need and the things you need to do to achieve your success. All the beliefs you need to take on, the identity you need to adopt, etc. Once you do that, then you can start to be successful. Once you're like, oh, me not having money is not God telling me I can't get paid yet. It's that I need to go do the things that make me money. Let me just go do those. It's me. It's my fault. Oh, I don't have the girl because I never walked up to her and asked for her number. Shit. It's not God's fault. It's me. Oh, I don't have on and on and on and on. All the things I don't have are my fault. Also, all the things you do have are your fault. All the things you do have are your fault. Isn't that amazing? That means you don't have to wait on anyone. All the things you have, the body, the girlfriend, the boyfriend, the anything, the relationship, the money, the business, the skill set, the hobby, all of those things are only with you because you went out and did them. You went out and got them. You have nothing that just showed up. So that means you don't have to wait for anybody ever again. Problem solved. You don't have to wait for the government or your sister to change. You don't have to wait for your mom to say sorry. You don't have to wait for your cousin. You don't have to wait for your cousin's dog's uncle's brother, whatever I said earlier. You don't have to wait for anybody to come save you because no one's coming to save you because God's already sent his son to die to come and save you. It's already done. Everything's already done. All you need to do with your free will now is decide to take full responsibility for every outcome you have in your life or every outcome you don't have in your life. Celebrate that you've achieved a lot of things. Okay, and then get on your own ass, so to speak, about all the things you haven't achieved yet and realize, oh, it's my fault. It's my fault. It's been my fault all along. It was never anybody else's fault. Of course, I would have had more of this thing if I did more of the action to get the thing. And because I didn't do that, because I was procrastinating, watching TV or watching shows or hanging out with my friends or just scrolling online kind of mindlessly or just playing games or just doing anything that's not for your goals, because I was spending my time there, I don't have my goal yet. But it's no one else's fault. It's just my fault. And I'm not even saying any of those things are bad, right? Shakespeare has a quote and he said, nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. That's a good quote. That means no action you take, no belief you have, no person you have, no habit you have in your life is good or bad. We just decide it's good or bad based on something. And this is why I always come back to the idea of building clarity in your life first, like trying to decide and set goals first. The thing you need to be basing your decisions on, basing what's good or bad, like the criteria, is your goals. But if you don't consciously set goals, your mind mindlessly automatically sets goals. That's why you just go start like picking the weeds outside and shit. It's like, please do something. Just do something, dude. And now you're picking weeds and fucking drinking again. Like, fuck it, bro. Your mind subconsciously or automatically sets goals if you don't deliberately set goals. So successful people deliberately set goals and go after them. Unsuccessful people set no goals, so they just go after random goals. So they get nothing done. They do like the same shit forever. So you just need to be like, okay, I'm somewhere. Where do I want to go? Like, what's something else I want? Is it plane tickets? Is it more muscles? Is it a girlfriend? What is something, somewhere I want to go? That's all you're doing with goals. People are so scared of setting goals. You don't even have to, just get specific over time. Set big, vague goals and go after them for now. Like, I want more money. Cool. Let's do something for that. We can work more hours. We can work overtime. We can start a side business. We can go sell something. I want more money, right? Or I want a new relationship. Or I want new friends. And then with that in mind, ask yourself, how do I think I can start on this goal? That's all any successful person ever did. They set a goal, they decided they wanted something that they didn't have, and they're like, what do I think I could do to go after this? Or who already has this? Let's just see what they're doing, and let me just do that for now. And as I progress, we'll just figure out, more of the skills I need and the knowledge I need along the way to be successful. So set goals, because your goals will become the criteria for your good and bad decision making. Okay, like I said earlier, nothing's good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Meaning video games aren't bad if you're trying to become a pro gamer. It's like the best thing you could do all day. So drinking's not bad if your goal is to destroy my liver as fast as possible and try to get Alzheimer's. Not drinking's amazing. You might as well down 11 whiskeys a night. That was kind of weird. No Diddy. Sorry. But really, nothing is good or bad. So you need to set goals so you have some good or bad. Right? If your goal is to be healthy as long as possible and not get Alzheimer's, now drinking shit. Perfect. Okay, now we're getting it. The drinking out of here. So on and on, you need to set goals, figure out what you want, and then go after it, and use that as the criteria, what's good or bad. And as my great teacher, Tom Bilyeu, said, only do that which is beneficial for your goals. Never do that which is destructive to your goals. Never. Only do, believe, say, repeat things that help your goals. Don't do, say, believe, or repeat things that are terrible for your goals, that break your goals down, that are bad. Those are bad actions, okay? So I think that's the rest of the video, okay? Yeah, I think that's everything. Pretty sure that's everything. We'll just end the video there. If there's some sauce in there, there's some sauce in there.
Dude, that was a fucking whole guacamole, bro. Oh my